Hello, I'm Mariana Hans and I'm a therapist living in Northern Ireland, and I work with hair analysis and nutrition. And the reason for this video, which is number 3, is that my husband and I are doing a project called No Grain, No Pain, and we're hoping that it will help his arthritis in his hands. Well, we've been doing it now for a week, and I haven't been telling you how we're getting on really. So what kind of things have we experienced during the week? A lot of it's fairly familiar to us because of Ken being vegan, so I'm used with replacing eggs with other things to some extent. And yes, in many ways, there's not a lot that's different, but it's just more ongoing. Breakfasts are very different. So, but let's start with, were there any negative things that we experienced in the first week? I remember on day 2, 3, feeling a bit spacey. Now, spacey is the word that I used, but if I change that slightly to say lightheaded, then that's too strong. I didn't feel lightheaded or my balance affected. It was more that kind of spaciness that I feel if I'm detoxifying. Say I come off coffee or change radically the way I've been eating to detox, then that's the way I felt. And yet I hadn't expected this 30 days to be detoxing in that way, but it is, and that can only be good. However, my husband didn't experience that. What he experienced was something quite different. We were out walking, and about half a mile away from home, he said, "My legs just feel weak." So we turned and came back home. A couple of days later, it's never been mentioned since, except to say, "My legs feel grand." So that's all good. But I was apprehensive, when he said about weak legs. I really thought, are we going to be able to continue with this? However, I was ever so pleased when the legs strengthened up again. Now, I really think that cooking is the most time-consuming thing that we're doing, because nothing else changes a lot except what you're eating. Although there are some other changes that I'll tell you about, like, for instance, exercise. However, back to cooking, it's really a lengthy thing, cooking a whole selection of vegetables, so that I heard my husband sort of say, to nobody in particular, just to the ether, "I think every saucepan in the house has been used." And it probably was every saucepan, because so many things were cooked. And the hardest thing is just replacing eggs. But there are ways around it. And although I do want this to be of interest to people who are vegans, don't be put off. It really is possible. I think I'll stop there for today. Bye.